Hey everyone, this is Haley from Cartoon Universe, and today I have something pretty cool to show you guys that I want to get the word out about, and hopefully in the future this gets made into a series. So basically what this is a little mini-sode called Infinity Train, which is posted on the Cartoon Network YouTube page as well as their video on demand if you have a TV. Cartoon Network is calling this a mini-sode, but it's technically a pilot for a potential series, and a lot of people, me included, really want to see this become a true series, or at least a shorter series like with Over the Garden Wall, but best case scenario would be something like with Steven Universe. And perhaps, just by judging from what we've seen from the pilot and the potential of the series, it could in fact be just as good as Steven Universe when it airs, and perhaps if Steven Universe does end in the next few years, this one can take its place as sort of the best cartoon that Cartoon Network has to offer. And from looking at this mini-sode or pilot, we can see that this show is about a girl named Tulip who makes her way through this infinity train that she's been stuck on for like a week, and she's making her way through each of the little compartments or parts of the train, but it goes on forever, so she's been there a week pretty much stuck in this infinite loop, going through all these rooms that each one is different, but she doesn't really know why she's there or how she can get out. But she has this mysterious number on her hand that may have a connection to her getting out of the infinity train. Along with her is this little robot called 1-1, who is actually a pretty cool concept because he has two parts to him. Even though he's technically just called 1-1, there's a part of him that's kind of like the glad one, and the other one's that's the sad one. So it's like two personalities, and they can split apart, as you see in the short. And also really like Tulip. She's pretty smart, and she's trying to figure out what's going on. She does use some real technical jargon, or try to kind of use things that make her sound like she knows what she's talking about, although, I mean, I'm pretty sure she is, but she just has that kind of vibe about her that you would believe her what she is saying at that moment. And in the pilot, we only get to see her go through a few rooms. It's pretty funny to see what they can come up with. There's so much potential here, I can definitely see that now. But one of the rooms that they go in, or the only big one that they go in this episode, is that there's this land full of corgis, and there's corgi dogs, and there's a king, and they all act like corgis, but these corgis have a problem, and Tulip has to kind of help them out and figure out what's going wrong in their society, I guess. Like I said before, this has a lot of potential to become a full-fledged show with just an infinite amount of possibilities. Just as the name suggests, Infinity Train, it can be anything. The rooms that the train has can either just be like a couple feet or, vast worlds like we saw in the short, which I think is amazing. So you're probably wondering, like, yeah, this short is awesome. Cartoon Network should definitely make it into a real show. And I totally agree with you, but that might not happen because this is with pilots. It just depends whether Cartoon Network basically greenlights the show, which, is a coin toss for what does and doesn't become a show. I will say that I did like this pilot a bit more than the other one that they released a day earlier, which is Victor and Valentino. Although I really liked the Gravity Falls vibe that it had going on, I just didn't like the characters as much as this one. I do recommend watching both of them because they're both great, but if I had to say that there had to be only one of these, or if there had to be only one of these that could become a show, Infinity Train is definitely that. So just tell me what you think about this show in the comments below. And even if it does become a show, it might be a couple years before we see it become so. So just hold tight, and hopefully this show can keep gathering up fans. It already seems to be doing so. It already got over 100,000 views on YouTube, which is great. So you guys should help add to that number. And Cartoon Network will probably say like, oh my gosh, this is doing really well. People obviously like that. They obviously do not want another Teen Titans Go or a reboot of another sort. The creator, writer, and storyboarder of this show is regular show's Owen Dennis, who also helped with Over the Garden Wall, so there might be some similarities there just in how it feels, because I agree with like some of the backgrounds, especially when they're on the train. I believe you can really get that sense of kind of mystery, and this series has a total lot of mystery that potential for, because first of all, we don't know what's going on with her hand, why she's stuck in the train, how is she gonna get out. There's a lot of mysteries that this first episode or pilot, which probably won't be the first episode, sets up, and it's doing a really good job at making it seem like this has a ton of potential. So that pretty much wraps this video up. Of course, I will put a link to the episode in the description below, and I also want to know what do you guys think? Do you guys want to see this show actually happen, or do you think, oh, maybe pass on that one? I hope you think that this one should be a show, because Cartoon Network lately has not been doing the best job at putting out new shows. Of course, that could change with things like this and maybe in Victor and Valentino, but we shall see. I also already saw that there was a petition going on for the show to actually make it a real show on change.org, I believe. I'll also post that in the description. And that's just awesome because there's already 1,000 people, over 1,000 people who have signed that. And that shows that it already has a fan base, which is amazing to see. So that pretty much wraps this video up. I'll see you next time.